You're watching ABC 7 News at 7.
That wasn't a hack. That's information that Facebook puts out there and shares with other corporations.
And I think it is an enormous invasion of privacy, but people need to realize that whenever you are out on the internet, on social media in particular, your information is out there to the world.
Facebook and the Cambridge Analytica scandal. Could local political campaigns be using similar tools? Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Kona, and welcome to ABC 7 at 7. We'll have more on how the Facebook scandal could affect local political campaigns. But first, our top 7 stories at 7. You saw the video. It went viral. Now there's an arrest in that incredible road rage incident in Sarasota. 30-year-old Magdal Medrano Bonilla was in court this afternoon. He is charged with aggravated battery and driving a vehicle without a license. Detectives located this car yesterday. It was stripped of its tag, all 4 doors and the hatch, in an alleged effort to destroy the car and avoid criminal charges. Now, the sheriff's office is contacting U.S. Immigration.
For the sheriffs of Florida, especially for me, this is crime prevention. I don't want him here anymore, and I'm hoping that some type of immigration reform gets done so that the citizens of my county can feel safe knowing this person or similar people to him are not here anymore in the community, running people off the road trying to kill them.
Bonilla's bond has been set at $20,000. Sheriff's deputies also arresting a man accused of shooting out the window of a moving car and possession of drugs. Investigators say they stopped Christopher Long after a 911 call. Deputies allegedly found meth, prescription pills, a rifle, a handgun, and ammunition inside his car. He remains behind bars on $35,000 bond. As forecasters anticipate an active hurricane season, the concern in Venice is the lack of hurricane shelters. The city hired a structural engineer to determine how strong the Venice Community Center is. The engineer says the building needs a few minor upgrades to withstand a Category 3 storm. Despite that, Sarasota County emergency operations leaders say the building will not be open as a shelter because it is on the island of Venice. The building could become inaccessible in the event of a strong storm, especially if one of the island bridges were damaged.
Venice has 3 bridges that can take you off the man-made island.
Depending on the movement of a storm, tidal surge could move up through the pass and around into the area affecting bridges, boats. There's debris that can hit bridges.
Sarasota County leaders say they are working to find a building off island to serve as a shelter. As part of the National Crime Victims' Rights Week, Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi is honoring law enforcement officers and victim advocates. 6 people were given awards for their work in helping assist crime victims across Florida. Bondi spoke on the hardships crime victims go through. The ceremony's keynote speaker was stabbed 32 times by an ex-boyfriend and now works as a counselor and advocate for other victims.
Every day, survivors come together to tell their stories, and they truly are survivors. They are tenacious, and they have endured some of the most horrific crimes you can ever imagine.
Becoming a victim wasn't my choice, but letting go of victim mentality was. I stand before you now as an empowered surthriver. That is, a survivor who is thriving and on a mission to make a difference in the world.
Next week, Florida's Constitution Revision Commission will consider a proposed amendment which says victims of crime and their families deserve more of a voice in the criminal justice system. Lawyers representing Parkland school shooter Nikolas Cruz says he should be able to continue to be represented at taxpayer expense because he likely doesn't have the assets to pay for his legal defense. Before the February shooting, Cruz claimed he would inherit $800,000 from his deceased parents after his 22nd birthday. If that turns out to be true, the public defender's office could be reimbursed in 3 years. Florida's new program to arm school employees is a no-go at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. The Broward School Board voted to ask the state to redirect its portion of the $67 million program to hire more police officers instead. The legislature named its effort after the coach Aaron Theis, the Guardian program, the football coach who was among those killed at the Florida high school on February 14th. Allegiant Airlines is now flying in and out of Sarasota-Bradenton International Airport. Passengers were welcomed from Indianapolis on the ultra-low-cost carrier's first stop at SRQ. Allegiant is also offering flights to and from Pittsburgh and will add Cincinnati starting this weekend, and we wish them the best of luck. Now let's head over to ABC 7's Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with the first alert forecast. Bob.
Well, good luck as far as flying goes, and no problems. The weather has been perfect down here along the Sun Coast today. Low humidity and mild temperatures. Really highs were right at average for this time of year, 80 degrees. And looks like we'll see a pretty chilly start to tomorrow morning due to this number right here, 47 on the dew point. And those winds out of the north-northeast will allow temperatures to plummet down into the low to mid 50s in some places here. Sunshine right now, 76 degrees. It's comfortable, and the barometer 30.09 inches. Well, 75. These are the current temperatures in Tallahassee, 76 here, 71 in Orlando, 79 in Key West. But there's a big difference. It's the humidity in the atmosphere. It's at 70, which is summer-like in Key West, so it feels warm and muggy down there. But for us, that's a winter-like dew point at 47. And it looks as though we'll see things moisten up a bit, but that won't happen until tomorrow late afternoon. For lows tonight, we'll see them into the mid-50s and inland, Northport, and also into Port Charlotte, Mayaca City. Venice will be right around 58 degrees, 57 in Lakewood Ranch. The same in Bradenton. A little bit warmer, right around 60 degrees in Anna Maria for a low, but still, that should feel real nice with that low humidity around. And as far as the evening planner goes, no problems, clear skies, 64 by 11 o'clock tonight. And it looks as though things are going to be changing, though. We're in kind of a fast-moving pattern. We'll see another cold front come down on the weekend. We'll have the details of the timing of the storms and what we can expect with those coming up a little bit later.
All right, thanks a lot, Bob. And still to come, what impact does Cambridge Analytica have on local elections here on the Suncoast?
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
20 years ago, the moviegoers of Sarasota looked up at the silver screen and wanted something more. And they got exactly what they wanted. 20 years of some of the best independent films from around the world. The most iconic Hollywood stars walking the red carpet. The most glamorous parties in Southwest Florida. 20 years building up to the most exciting announcement in, well, 20 years. At the Sarasota Film Festival, April 13th to the 22nd.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score. It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach. Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Saints and Singers. The powerful voices of the 40 choral artist singers are joined by acclaimed mezzo-soprano Amy Jo Connors, performing John Rutter's arrangements of such beloved spirituals as Joshua Fit the Battle of Jericho, When the Saints Go Marching In, and more. The concert also features medleys highlighting hits from Broadway and the sublime music of Cole Porter. Sunday, April 15th, 7:30 p.m. at First Church, Sarasota. Tickets and info are at choralartistsarasota.org or by calling 387-4900.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC 7 shows on your streaming device.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
We're still coming to grips with it. Facebook turned over the profiles of 87 million users to a Republican-funded analytics firm, Cambridge Analytica, which then used the information in support of the Trump campaign. As we saw this week in Congress, it is now considering regulating Facebook. But we asked Adam Cellini whether these tools could be used in political campaigns right here on the Suncoast.
There was a time when this sound fostered peace of mind.
And I think the olden days of advertising was really based on print advertising and direct mail.
When data was requested, written, and transferred on paper, destroying it brought a sense of comfort.
The internet was not intended to be a weapon against people's privacy.
Certain information has always been public for political campaigns to target: addresses, voting records, income information. But a New York Times report revealed that the political data firm Cambridge Analytica took it farther than anyone else in 2015, gaining access to the private information of roughly 50 million Facebook users with the consent of only about 270,000.
What they didn't realize was that the application that was installed also looked to the friends data of their friends on Facebook, which is how they ended up with the 50 million.
That number has since risen to roughly 87 million. Among the information, details about user identities and likes. The firm's executives claim it can be used to form psychological profiles for more effective political advertising.
And I think it is an enormous invasion of privacy, but people need to realize that whenever you are out on the internet, on social media in particular, your information is out there to the world.
Candace McKellia is president of 360 Public Relations. She says social media mapping is common for businesses and campaigns. Take, for instance, Facebook Pixel, a tool that tracks people while they're browsing websites so the ads back on their timelines can be more personal.
We've all seen it. Follows you wherever you go on Facebook. It's constantly bombarding you with advertising. And that's the same thing for political campaigns, for really any big business that invests in advertising with social media.
Or how about those fun personality surveys, like the one Cambridge Analytica used to gather all that data? At the time Facebook allowed such data gathering, Cambridge Analytica only crossed the line when they allegedly sold the data to Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign.
That wasn't a hack. That's information that Facebook puts out there and shares with other corporations.
The American Civil Liberties Union warned Facebook about this so-called app gap in 2009.
Well, this is where we think Facebook fails in informing their users of how much this information is out there and how people can access it and use it.
As State College of Florida cybersecurity professor Bill Culver points out, the warnings are often out there in the terms and conditions.
You know, the Facebook one is, 9 or 10 pages. Google's is, 15 pages. Microsoft's is 49 pages. Unfortunately, what happens is a lot of times when users install applications, they just click yes, agree, yes, yes, and they don't really read any of the details.
As Facebook and CEO Mark Zuckerberg are now asked to explain themselves to lawmakers, the ACLU is calling on tech companies to agree to a for-promise security pledge to customers.
We are trying to educate citizens about how important their privacy is.
Because once your information's out on the internet, it's a lot easier to piece together. Now, Facebook is making some changes as well to the settings portion of people's profiles. Soon it will be easier to both see and change the data that's available to third-party developers, and also Facebook is working on notifying those people who may have been part of that data breach. In the newsroom, Adam Cellini, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Coming up, one of the area's up-and-coming political consultants, one of the area's cyber gurus, and the Florida ACLU's brand new president at a place we call the Trapezoid.
Let's go right now to breaking news. A shooting that involved a police officer.
It happened about 1 o'clock this morning.
The investigators will be going door to door to these businesses.
We've got a couple of areas of low pressure that are going to be impacting our weather.
Issues in Manatee County. Congestion. To avoid that, take the Green Bridge. CashNet USA is trusted by over 2 million customers.
Perfect. When I lean back, I trust that you will be there to catch me.
Okay, bad idea, bad idea.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
I work hard all day, and this is why. But taking care of my money has never been easy. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, making it easy to keep track of my money and pay my bills on time.
Here's to the strong, to the dependable,
to the trusted. Your family counts on you. Who can you count on? The Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. With direct deposit, you can get your paycheck or government payments up to 2 days faster.
I don't have time to wait for a paycheck, cash it, and then run around and pay bills. Brinks knows what's valuable to me. Time.
Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no cost to order and no credit check. Load money onto your card and then shop online, pay bills, buy groceries.
I get a text alert every time our card is used, so we always know our balance.
And we're protected from unauthorized transactions. Brinks gives us peace of mind.
With Brinks, you can conveniently manage your money online and with the mobile app.
I get cash back on everyday purchases. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, saving money.
Plus, you can load checks in minutes, anywhere with mobile check load. Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no credit check and no cost to order. And with a qualifying direct deposit, we'll upgrade you to Brinks Preferred with extra benefits. And in this TV-only offer, personalize your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard with your photo for added security. Manage your money on the go, anywhere, and get the peace of mind you deserve. Brinks knows what's valuable to you. Call right now to order your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard.
Call 1-800-282-9643.
There's no cost to order. Call now.
Welcome back. Most of us know Facebook. Some of us practically live on it. But until recently, few of us realized how our information on Facebook was being sold off to a firm, Cambridge Analytica, which in a way weaponized it during the 2016 presidential campaign in support of President Trump. Congress and the special counsel are now investigating, but here's the question. Could these two types of tools be used in local congressional races? What about races for the State House, the State Senate, County Commission? Even the school board. Joining us for more are Kate Connolly, political director at One Brand Marketing, Michael Barfield, the brand new president of the Florida ACLU, and Shane Hartman, a cybersecurity expert at USF Sarasota Manatee. Welcome to you all. Kate, let me put that question to you right now because you are involved in a lot of local races in our area. Are some of these techniques being used here locally?
I do believe they are being used. I do believe there's also a great benefit on state levels and national levels because they have more money to spend on this type of targeting.
Well, let's get right to it. How expensive is this?
It greatly varies on how many people you are trying to target, how many impressions you are serving them, and how many data points you are filtering your targeting in on.
Michael, can you explain your concern because as we were talking before the show, in a way, this has been going on for years now. I heard stories that, you know, the Obama campaign in 2008 was able to buy the list of people who would subscribe to certain magazines and therefore know exactly who they're targeting.
Well, digital data is easily exportable and can be manipulated in such a way that political campaigns and other people will take that data and use it for whatever purpose they see. And Americans are generally, Facebook was sort of this explosive new social media atmosphere that we're in, that people are just willing to give up information about themselves that previously had been kept private.
But as that cyber expert showed Adam in his story, I mean, Facebook, Google, all those other companies, they have basically, it's all out there when you sign up. People may not read it, but isn't that our fault that we're not reading what we're accepting?
We do share some of the blame for sure. When you download apps, who goes through the terms and conditions, 39 pages? But the providers also have a responsibility to make it clear and direct of what information that you're giving up and what it's going to be used for.
Shane, now we're seeing Congress finally, maybe after the horses come home, the barnyard door metaphor, they may be putting regulations on Facebook, but you know, there's another line from a movie, Jurassic Park, that nature will find a way. So even if they regulate Facebook and other platforms, is it likely that people who are interested in doing this will just find other ways?
Oh, absolutely. You've got Amazon, you've got Google, you've got Microsoft. You have a myriad of different places you can go to collect that data. So if they just close the door on Facebook, they'll just look at other places to get that. People have a tendency to want to put information out there, YouTube videos, you name it, it's out there, so they're going to try to collect it. And they're not going to, until they regulate every one of those, if that's where they go, then that's where they'll be.
Kate, in terms of some of the reporting I've seen, it is still unclear how effective it was during the 2016 campaign, whether people's votes were changed, whether President Trump got more votes because of the ads that were on Facebook.
I think the most effective aspect of using this kind of data is by micro-targeting, which was a very effective tactic used during the Trump campaign and could be very effective locally. By micro-targeting, you can determine who is going to react positively or not react at all to certain ads, and you can limit your spend on smaller micro-targets. And then if they are successful, you can scale that spend and target many more people. And in that way, it reduces waste of campaign dollars and could greatly increase the benefits of their advertising.
Okay, we are just getting warmed up. We'll have much more on Facebook and Cambridge Analytica right after we check the First Alert weather, so stay with us.
The Wild Broadway series brings you Funny Girl. Fanny Brice dreams of being famous and through sheer guts and determination becomes a star of the Ziegfeld Follies. Playing March 28th through April 15th, it's the songs and story that generations have grown to love. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. Don't rain on my parade. Come see Funny Girl.
When I was growing up, my mom told us, always treat others the way you want to be treated. She did business with companies that shared her values, like Mutual of Omaha. She had a guaranteed whole life insurance policy through United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, a Mutual of Omaha company. When my mother passed away, her United of Omaha policy helped cover her funeral expenses and bills, and they had money on its way to us within 24 hours.
United of Omaha is here to take care of you. When you call the number on your screen, we'll help find the right policy for you. If you're between 45 and 85, you can get coverage up to $25,000 with no medical exam. Call us right now at the number on your screen.
Now I know I'll be taking care of my family, even after I'm gone.
United of Omaha guaranteed whole life insurance. Call or go online now. Be there for their future.
Florida Studio Theater presents Blue Suede Shoes, celebrating the birth of rock and roll. From the father of rock and roll, Chuck Berry, to the king himself, Elvis Presley, this musical review features such great hits as Rock Around the Clock, Mustang Sally, Johnny B. Good, and of course, Blue Suede Shoes. Critics are calling Blue Suede Shoes a burst of rock history, dynamic and high voltage. Audiences are calling it phenomenal. Blue Suede Shoes has been held over by popular demand. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting FloridaStudioTheater.org.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Our conversation on Facebook and Cambridge Analytica continues right after we get a check on the First Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob.
Thanks, Alan. All smiles today for beachgoers as a result of a lot more sunshine. We had the heavy rainfall yesterday, but a different story today. You can see this Casey Key webcam showing the waves not too bad out there today. Gentler conditions this afternoon. The winds have come down a little bit, but lots of sunshine. Beautiful sunset tonight. And as far as the Titan radar picture goes, some showers down to our south. That's the old frontal boundary, which brought us up to 4 inches of rainfall in western portions of Manatee County, but no rain like that right now. High pressure continues to dominate the weather and will do so over the upcoming 48 hours, all the way into the weekend for the most part, and then things start to change up again on Sunday. Well, Well, the forecast for your day tomorrow will start off kind of cool. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 50s. We'll warm up into the upper 70s by, the 3 o'clock hour. And no real threat of any rainfall around. Temperatures pretty much in the 70s here. 76 in Bradenton, 75 in Venice. The Gulf water temperature at 77 degrees. Arcadia at 74. And it's now 74 in Mayaca City. Currently at the airport, 2 degrees warmer. And we have a dew point at 47. That's what's so nice. That low dew point creates humidity values in the 30s now, 36%. And winds out of the east-northeast at 9. The pressure continues to rise. Well, a beautiful day out on area beaches. This one from Lido, the photo. High today was right at the average of 80, but it didn't feel that warm because of that low humidity and that wind out of the north. As far as the forecast goes, high pressure shifts off to the east. We'll get more of an east to southeasterly wind beginning tomorrow afternoon, but more so on Friday. You'll feel that humidity value come back up. And then the cold front is starting to develop over the Central Plain states. That's the next weather maker, which will bring us showers and even a few thunderstorms, some of which could be strong on Sunday. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. There's a potential for some stronger cells, I think, on and through Sunday afternoon. Temperatures currently into the 30s, but we're looking at that tomorrow's highs, 36 in Minot, North Dakota. But look at this. Tomorrow, a little taste of spring for folks in Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, all in the 70s there. St. Louis will get very close to 80 degrees tomorrow. That's all going to change as another storm system develops over the Central Plain states and brings in some snowfall, some pretty heavy snowfall expected over places like South Dakota, Minnesota, and even into Wisconsin. But for us, this is the GFS forecast, long-range model indicating rain moving in on Sunday, and some of that could be rather strong. It continues on until about 8 o'clock at night. At least this model suggests that, and I have a tendency to agree it'll be an afternoon and evening event. And then Monday and Tuesday, another shot of cooler air moves in, and it looks like we'll see temperatures in the 50s for lows both on looks like Monday morning and Tuesday morning. Nationally, the scene is that we have some snow earlier today in Michigan. Now it's over into Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, also into upstate New York. Kind of a rain-snow mix there now, but the big story is out west, where we will see this storm system and all this moisture that's gathering over the central and northern Rockies create blizzard-like conditions over the northern plain states over the next 2 days there, with heavy snowfall amounts up to a foot expected in places, as I said, like North Dakota, South Dakota, all the way down into Nebraska. You can see it developing right there. On Friday, it really starts to crank up all the way down into Kansas. We'll get some pretty good snowfall. It looks like it's not going to make it over to the northeast, as that upper level low will pull up stationary and stay well west of the northeast. East winds turn to the northwest. A little bit breezy to start things off tomorrow, and then subsides 5 to 10 knots in the afternoon. Here's the extended forecast. So nice day tomorrow, a little bit warmer on Friday and warmer still on Saturday. First alert weather day, meaning a very disruptive day, especially in the afternoon and evening, and we turn cooler on Monday and Tuesday. Alan will be back right after this.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991. Now, in one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Saints and Singers. The powerful voices of the 40 choral artist singers are joined by acclaimed mezzo-soprano Amy Jo Connors, performing John Rutter's arrangements of such beloved spirituals as Joshua Fit the Battle of Jericho, When the Saints Go Marching In, and more. The concert also features medleys highlighting hits from Broadway and the sublime music of Cole Porter. Sunday, April 15th, 7:30 p.m. at First Church, Sarasota. Tickets and info are at choralartistsarasota.org or by calling 387-4900.
Welcome back. We are talking about whether the tricks and the manipulation we're learning about from Facebook and Cambridge Analytica could be used in local political campaigns right here on the Suncoast. And joining us for more are Kate Connolly, Political Director of One Brand Marketing, Michael Barfield, the brand new president of the Florida ACLU, and Shane Hartman, a cybersecurity expert at USF Sarasota Manatee. We don't even have to ask the question whether local campaigns will be using this. There's a story that I pulled up here from California that 2 Republican congressional candidates hired Cambridge Analytica. And in one case, Cambridge helped one candidate's campaign produce ads targeting people who were predicted to be off-road vehicle enthusiasts and tell them that the candidate had a record of supporting off-road vehicles. Kate, does that necessarily mean that they're going to vote for your candidate?
It may or may not mean that. I think most importantly, it means that you are determining that the person who would most care about this issue is seeing that information. So these off-road enthusiasts know that the candidate is supporting them, and hopefully they will support him in turn.
You know, the conversation over the last few days is what regulations should Congress put on Facebook and other platforms to prevent this from happening again. On the other hand, I heard someone say on one of the networks this morning, the question what we should be asking is what can the government do to stop or to help platforms like Facebook stop these kinds of intrusions?
That's a good question, because until you take, I go to the theory that there's no such thing as a free lunch. Facebook is free. How do you think they make their revenue? They have to sell it. Same thing with Google. Offers a free service. So until you change the business model, you're not going to change the exporting and selling of data.
The business model being that companies like Facebook are selling your personal information to whoever they want to.
Correct.
You know, Shane, in terms of the cybersecurity issue, I know that there are a lot of companies around there who are looking for experts like you to help them how to keep their own infrastructure more secure and prevent the illegal taking of information. Are most companies prepared for that, or are they really behind?
Some are proactive. It depends a lot on the size and scale of the company. The bigger they are, the more potential or surface areas, we like to call it, that they have for compromises. And that entails that you have to spend more time, more effort, and more money to try to patch those holes before it gets out of hand.
And Kate, you know, going back to our original premise, and I know this is expensive to buy this information and to use it, but if you were running a school board race here in Sarasota or Manatee or a state house race, do you aspire to be able to micro-target your voter out there and get information that will lead you to target possible voters?
Absolutely. The whole aspect of targeting is best done when scaled from a low level to a high level. So once we know that it is being used effectively, you would invest more to target more people in the same matter. And I think that's something that can be done on a local level just as well as it is being done on state and national levels.
So Michael, what does the ACLU do about this? Obviously you've been involved in this issue on a grand scale, but you know, there are a lot of people who live here on the Suncoast who say, you know what, my vote was not changed in the last election by this.
Well, I think that a lot of people need to understand that their data is out there and what they're putting out there, and that it can be sold. And I think Facebook at a minimum needs to understand, have their users understand what the limits of that are, who they are selling it to, and how it's being used, and to be able to opt out of that. regulation from Congress, generally in this area of law, freedom of speech, it's very difficult to regulate.
So Shane, is the other concern, as we mentioned, it's one thing to buy this information from Facebook, but there is concern out there about hackers hacking it from other databases that you would hope would be more secure?
Absolutely. I mean, Equifax breach, OPM, all those. I find the Facebook one to be egregious in one sense, but I find the things with Equifax to be a lot worse because that type of data is not only going to be used against you, not so much in a political ad, but it's going to be used to either do identity theft or things that will directly affect you in a negative way.
And Kate, we're mostly talking about local political campaigns here, but what about local businesses who want to sell a product, whether it's clothing or a restaurant or so forth? Do you see local businesses hiring firms to help them better micro-target who their audience and who their customer might be?
Absolutely, 100%. I think that is a huge goal for all small businesses because they are seeking to gain the most outreach with the least investment to most effectively use their budget. And as a specialist in digital advertising, it is most common for local small businesses to want to start with digital advertising before they scale up.
Is there enough public information out there gotten through legal and open means to allow companies to target their goals rather than getting, information from Facebook in the way that we are so concerned about now?
I believe so. I think that there is much more information available on Facebook. I also think that there's plenty of information available through targeting on Facebook by buying your own ad sets without having to purchase large data sets from companies like Cambridge Analytica, which is a big difference in how I think local campaigns or local businesses may apply Facebook advertising as opposed to Fortune 500 companies or national campaigns that may be purchasing this large data sets.
Michael, is this a case that, people who are watching this tonight should just get used to it? Your information is out there and there's very little that the government or, large companies can do to prevent that at this point?
Well, I think the voters in this context could do things proactively, demand that candidates take a pledge. Have you used any type of data analysis, purchase of data set points that for your campaign to target individuals? That's one thing. Regulation is perhaps another, but also not putting so much information about oneself is an option as well.
And I also see there are cases in Florida, and I don't want to name the candidates. There's one particular candidate for a governor where there are questions about the relationship between him and Cambridge Analytica and whether or not that they used the information in past campaigns. I would imagine, Kate, that is going to become a real bone of contention in political races. But the bottom line, are voters apt to vote on this kind of issue or more like bread and butter issues that like the economy in their own wallet or purse?
That's a great question. I do agree with you. I think there will be a time where candidates are making pledges that they are not using ill-bought data sets. And I do think that could become a bread and butter conversation, much like campaign finance reform, where voters are now talking about this on a daily basis, and it becomes layman's prime concern that their data is being used inappropriately and that somebody they could be voting for has purchased these data sets from illegitimate sources, as opposed to maybe going through public channels and advertising how they purchase that data.
Finally, Shane, how much of this is a policy issue and how much of it is a technology issue in terms of having systems out there to prevent this from happening?
Well, on the preventive side, it's more of a probably a technology issue. The technology has grown quicker than any type of policy could possibly keep up with it, and it will continue that way for the foreseeable future until people stop putting stuff out there or not using that technology. The policy side is going to take a while for it to catch up.
All right, we have to take a quick break and we'll be back for final thoughts in a moment. Stay with us.
I work hard all day, and this is why. But taking care of my money has never been easy. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, making it easy to keep track of my money and pay my bills on time.
Here's to the strong, to the dependable, to the trusted. Your family counts on you. Who can you count on? The Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. With direct deposit, you can get your paycheck or government payments up to 2 days faster.
I don't have time to wait for a paycheck, cash it, and then run around and pay bills. Brinks knows what's valuable to me. Time.
Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no cost to order and no credit check. Load money onto your card and then shop online, pay bills, buy groceries.
I get a text alert every time our card is used, so we always know our balance.
And we're protected from unauthorized transactions. Brinks gives us peace of mind.
With Brinks, you can conveniently manage your money online and with the mobile app.
I get cash back on everyday purchases. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, saving money.
Plus, you can load checks in minutes, anywhere with mobile check load. Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no credit check and no cost to order. And with a qualifying direct deposit, we'll upgrade you to Brinks Preferred with extra benefits. And in this TV-only offer, personalize your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard with your photo for added security. Manage your money on the go, anywhere, and get the peace of mind you deserve. Brinks knows what's valuable to you. Call right now to order your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard.
Call 1-800-282-9643.
There's no cost to order. Call now.
When money's tight and emergencies arise, CashNetUSA.com is available 24/7 to deliver quick loans for approved customers when they need it the most.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert Weather app now.
And our guests join us right now for final thoughts. And Kate, let me start with you. In terms of this election cycle, the midterms, is it safe to say that every candidate from Senate to Congress to your local school board is using information to target their voters in a certain way? Or are there still some campaigns who are basically behind the times?
I think that every campaign is targeting voters and always has, whether it's through mail or otherwise, but I do believe every strong campaign right now from the school board level all the way up to congressional and presidential in 2020 will be using this information with digital advertising, and mostly probably through simplistic Facebook advertising, if not more sophisticated through certain data sets.
You know, Michael, I asked this question on a lot of different issues. Do other countries do it better than we do in terms of safeguarding your personal information?
Yes. Europe is light years ahead of us in data collection practices of big corporations. The two most important tools they use to do that is data retention policies. They force corporations to purge data after a very limited period of time, and second, precluding their sale of that data, users' data, of collecting information about consumers.
Shane, presumably Congress might do something in terms of regulating Facebook and Google and those other platforms here, but is it really kind of the genie is already out of the bottle, or do you have any hopes that this government and our country will find a way to actually better protect people's privacy?
I think there'll be some of that that'll come through, but we're a country that we're based on a freedom that we can do relatively what we want. So in that context, you should protect yourself first before you rely on the government to protect you.
All right, thank you all. Before we go, we want to share with you what some of you had to say about last night's show, the ongoing search for missing Sarasota teenager Jabez Spann. It has been 7 months since Spann disappeared. The teen was last seen Labor Day weekend. Rumor has it that he witnessed a murder a few days before he went missing. Tips are still coming in, but not as frequently as they once were. We went to Facebook to hear your thoughts, and Shannon says this poor child is not getting what he needs from this community. It's heartbreaking and so wrong. Susan says, increase the reward. If that was my child, I would be holding a bake sale and fundraisers within the community to add to the reward money. Money loosens even the tightest lips. Shannon says, sadly, his own community has no interest in finding him. The county government, law enforcement, etc. can't do a thing without leads or information. Information as community has no intention of giving. And Shannon says it is sad, but until the community changes, nothing changes. Well, if you'd like to join the conversation on tonight's topic, just visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/mysuncoast.com.abc7. And FYI, you can watch past discussions on demand. They're available on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. We want to thank all our guests for being here tonight. Kay Connolly is Political Director at One Brand Marketing. Michael Barfield is the brand new president of the Florida ACLU. And Shane Hartman is a cybersecurity expert at USF Sarasota Manatee. When we return, we'll have a final look at your First Alert weather. Plus, another high-profile Republican congressman announces he will not seek re-election. Stay with us.
The La Musica International Chamber Music Festival, the annual celebration of a distinctive cultural gem in Sarasota, with renowned musicians from around the world. April 9th through April 18th at the Sarasota Opera House. Visit lamusicafestival.org, click on Festival, open tickets, and get your seats now.
Set your course for a waterfront lifestyle on Florida's last private island. Discover One Particular Harbor by Margaritaville. Nearby sugar sand beaches are as easy to find as the warm Florida sunshine. Waterfront residences from the high 400s overlook beautiful Anna Maria Sound. And a new marina with direct access to the Gulf of Mexico. Plus, incredible savings on move-in-ready homes. Come tour designer models today. Visit ophmintousa.com now.
Florida Studio Theater presents Blue Suede Shoes, celebrating the birth of rock and roll. From the father of rock and roll, Chuck Berry, to the king himself, Elvis Presley, this musical review features such great hits as Rock Around the Clock, Mustang Sally, Johnny B. Good, and of course, Blue Suede Shoes. Critics are calling Blue Suede Shoes a burst of rock history, dynamic and high voltage. Audiences are calling it phenomenal. Blue Suede Shoes has been held over by popular demand. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting floridastudiotheater.org.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Your primetime headlines are coming up in a moment, but right now let's get a final check on our First Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob.
Thanks, Alan. Gorgeous weather out there this evening. A beautiful sunset. Hardly a cloud to be found today. That's a result of a high-pressure ridge, which continues to dominate our weather, and will do so right through most of Saturday, and then we'll have a change as a result of a cold front headed away. More on that front in a little bit. The front that moved through yesterday hanging up down to our south now, where it will eventually fade away. High pressure continues to be the dominating weather story, bringing dry conditions across most of the state. A few showers down to our south, just off the coast of the Keys there. Forecast through this evening, the evening planner looks nice. Temperatures into the mid-60s. Upper 60s near the coast, low to mid-60s inland at 11 o'clock tonight. And then 67 degrees our current temp in Jacksonville. And it's 79 still in Key West, 76 here at the Sarasota-Braden Airport. All in the low 70s to mid-70s across the region. Braden 75, Mayaca City 73, the Gulf water temperature at 77, Inglewood at 73. So here's the forecast, the current conditions. 76 now in Sarasota, 2 degrees cooler in Braden, 76 in Venice now. And as far as the forecast goes, this is the forecast model. You'll see this storm system developing. It's going to be a big storm for the potential for severe and rough weather, too, from Texas through Louisiana and Arkansas on Friday afternoon, Friday night. And then it advances to the southeast, and it looks like Alabama, also into parts of Georgia and the panhandle of Florida, could see some very significant weather and severe weather on into Saturday night. And then for us, The front will weaken a little bit in terms of the severity of the storms, but there's still a chance, I think, we could see some strong cells and some very heavy rainfall beginning Sunday around midday and then continuing through the evening hours as that front moves off to the east. It's another significant front, too, in that will cool down quite a bit on Monday and Tuesday with high temperatures more like February as opposed to April. Well, here's the severe storm outlook. Severe storms are anticipated throughout Saturday. As I mentioned, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and then a good chance for some tornadoes, too. That chance for rough weather there as a result of that stronger cold front sliding down into the lower Mississippi Valley. Well, highs tomorrow will be warm up in places like Detroit and Cleveland, even Washington. Look at that, 76 for a high tomorrow. Boston's still cool at 57 degrees. As far as the rest of the U.S. goes, well, the snow showers continue to linger in Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and parts of New York, but for the most part, it's rainfall into Pennsylvania as that system moves off to the east there. Out west, we're watching this storm system right here. This is the one that moved into California. It's going to gather strength and develop into possibly a blizzard across parts of the Dakotas, into Nebraska, and even into Minnesota over the upcoming 3 days now. Now, here's a look at what's happening in the long-range model forecast. You'll notice the purples and blues staying to the north, but boy, they're going to be dropping down throughout the week next week, and so we'll get cool on Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll start to warm back up just a little bit on into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. So things will get pretty chilly throughout the start of the work week, and then we will see another front too. So some fast-moving fronts expected to be moving down on Sunday. Then another one looks like late next week. For boaters, winds will be out of the east to start things off at around 15 knots, and then subside to 5 to 10 and turn to the northwest in the afternoon. Seas running 2 to 3 feet. The water temperature, just as the air temperature is right there at the beach, is right around 77 degrees. So here's your extended forecast. An 81 tomorrow. A nice day. A cool start, though. We'll warm up mid-80s Friday and Saturday. First alert weather day on Sunday. And then cooler and sunshine to start the work week. Alan will be back with primetime headlines right after this.
Accolades are great. Just wait until you see our prices. Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Did you know you could get life insurance in just a few minutes? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with just a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, TruStage guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you. TruStage cares for you the same way you care for your family. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-809-8372 now. Any amount of protection can help, and you are guaranteed to be accepted. In just a few minutes, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Getting life insurance can be fast and easy, and it could cost less than you think. Plus, your price will never increase, and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-809-8372 now for a free, no-obligation quote. It's fast and easy. Plus, you get TruStage's 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-809-8372 today.
Checking primetime headlines, yet another Republican member of Congress is looking for the exit, and this time it is the Speaker of the House. ABC's Karen Travers has more.
President Trump's dinner tonight at the White House with Republican congressional leaders became a lot more interesting when House Speaker Paul Ryan announced he's not running for re-election. A truly good man. That's what President Trump wrote on Twitter about Paul Ryan, adding the House Speaker will leave a legacy of achievement that nobody can question. But the president and Ryan have had a complicated relationship. Ryan was slow to endorse Mr. Trump in 2016, holding out even after he was the presumptive Republican nominee. The House Speaker later distanced himself from Mr. Trump after the Access Hollywood tape emerged weeks before Election Day. But once President Trump took office, Ryan was a loyal partner on Capitol Hill, working to push the Trump agenda forward. Their biggest, some say only, joint accomplishment, the tax cut legislation the president signed into law late last year. But Ryan was criticized for not pushing back on President Trump's controversial tweets and statements. He even joked about it.
Every morning, I wake up in my office and I scroll Twitter to see which tweets that I will have to pretend that I did not see later on.
Ryan frequently came to the White House or called President Trump to convince him to get behind his own party's positions or walk back a tweet. But sources insist President Trump didn't play a role in Ryan's decision.
I'm grateful to the president for giving us this opportunity to do big things to get this country on the right track.
Including Paul Ryan, there are now 24 Republican lawmakers not running for re-election this year. With all signs pointing toward a big Democratic wave in November, there are big implications for President Trump and his agenda. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
So now President Trump is taunting Russia. The president tweeting this morning, Russia vows to shoot down any and all missiles fired at Syria. Get ready, Russia, because we will be coming nice and new and smart. You shouldn't be partners with gas-killing animal who kills his people and enjoys it. Russia's foreign ministry spokeswoman responded in a Facebook post writing, smart missiles should fly towards terrorists, not the legal government that has been fighting international terrorism for several years on its territory. President Trump signed a new anti-sex trafficking bill into law today. The bipartisan measure paves the way for victims to hold websites accountable if the sites knowingly facilitate sex trafficking. The legislation began having an effect even before it was signed. Some sites which facilitate sex trafficking have shut down, and Craigslist shut down its personal ads section. Prosecutors in Los Angeles say they are investigating a sex crimes case against actor Kevin Spacey. A spokesperson for the district attorney says the case was presented to prosecutors in April by the sheriff's department. Details of the case are not being revealed, and Spacey's attorney refused comment. Authorities in both the U.S. and Britain are investigating the actor for numerous allegations of sexual assault. The two-time Oscar winner was fired from his Netflix series House of Cards as a result of the controversy. And that's all the time we have for this evening. I'm Alan Coe. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.
CashNet USA is trusted by over 2 million customers.
Perfect. When I lean back, I trust that you will be there to catch me. Okay, bad idea, bad idea.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
When you are home alone, an emergency can become a tragedy. However, with any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, whether in the bathroom,
I've fallen in the shower.
at home,
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
and on the go.
Help! I've fallen in the park and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-518-0221. That's 1-800-518-0221. Call now, 1-800-518-0221. For a free brochure, call 1-800-518-0221.
Let's go right now to breaking news. A shooting that involved a police officer.
It happened about 1 o'clock this morning.
The investigators will be going door to door to these businesses.
We've got a couple of areas of low pressure that are going to be impacting our weather.
Issues in Manatee County. Congestion. Can avoid that and take the Green Bridge.
Florida Studio Theater presents Blue Suede Shoes, celebrating the birth of rock and roll. From the father of rock and roll, Chuck Berry, to the king himself, Elvis Presley, this musical review features such great hits as Rock Around the Clock, Mustang Sally, Johnny B. Goode, and of course, Blue Suede Shoes. Critics are calling Blue Suede Shoes a burst of rock history, dynamic and high voltage. Audiences are calling it phenomenal. Blue Suede Shoes has been held over by popular demand. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting floridastudiotheater.org.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.